Okay, we're up to Nun Vav Amid Aleph. We're learning Lila Nishmas, Rabbi Yisrael ben Shmuel and Shamash Shav and Aliyah. Okay, this is a few very short blot in terms of lines, but it requires a tremendous amount of concentration. Okay, so I'm going to speak a lot before the Gemara. I have a little chart to help us. Yeah, you have a big chart to help us. Okay, now we know the halacha of Mitzayra. Guys, help up. A Mitzayra shaves twice. A Mitzayra shaves twice. He does. He's outside the machne when he's Mitzayra muchlit. I mean, he's been decided Mitzayra. He's outside. He brings birds, and they do the whole ceremony, and he shaves. Total body shave. 7 days later, Mitzayra then shaves again, and he brings his karbanos on day 8. That is, so the Mitzayra shaves twice. Good. Another that's tamei, he goes ahead and shaves once. Right. Another that's tamei, he's going to go ahead and he's going to shave once. Right. He's tamei tumas mace. He's tamei tumas mace. Just have to stop for a second. And if he's another tamei, so he has tumah for what? For 7 days. He takes care of his tumah. He shaves his head to glachas, brings karbanos, and he starts anew. And over came his ears. Good. So now you got a guy who's got groiset tzaris. This person he's a vaday nazar. He's a suffix whether he's tamei, and he's a suffix whether he's mitzayra. Talk about a guy who got issues, right? So he's a nazar vaday. He is a tamei suffix, and he is a mitzayra suffix. Good. Okay. How many days to get rid of his mitzayra possibility? How many days to go ahead and get rid of his nazirus possibility? Okay. How many days to get rid of his nazirus possibility? Okay. Let's go through. Let's start beginning. I'm going to start step 1. Okay. And then I'm going to bring it. After we do this, I'm going to bring out a chart. Okay. But I want you to hear. So he took care of. He's a mitzayra, and now he has to do his first body shave. There's a problem. He's a nazar vaday. If he's not a mitzayra, he's not allowed to shave his hair, right? Right? If he's not allowed to shave his hair, good. So what do you have to do on a regular nazirus? You wait 30 days. So after 30 days, I take a shave. If I'm a nazar taher, I'm allowed to shave at that time. Good. Now, if I'm mitzayra, that's my first body shave of mitzayra. Right? That's my first body shave of mitzayra. I took care of that. So the first 30 days is taking care of the first body shave of the mitzayra. Now the mitzayra needs a second body shave 7 days later. The problem is he can't do it 7 days later. He might be what? He might be a nazar tamei. And he can't do it 7 days later. You would need what? You have to wait 30 days. So now you go ahead, you wait another 30 days. That's 60. So that takes care of your mitzayra. You took care of your mitzayra. With 60 days, you took care of the possibility of being a mitzayra. Good. Now, at this point in time, if you want to eat kachim, you would be able to eat kachim. The only people who can't eat kachim are people who have tumah yotzei megufay. If you think about it, what's the kachim? B'chusei kippurim, meaning you took care of your tumah, and now you're missing your carbon. A yoledes, a zav, a zava, a mitzayra. What do they all have in common? The tumah emanates from their body as opposed to tumas mace, which is makabel externally. We touch something. They all emanate from the body. Those are mechusei kippurim. Right now, you, for all intents and purposes, you took care of your tzaras. Right? You took care of your tzaras. You took care of everything. You took care of your tzaras. You had your 2 body shaves. You could eat kachim after 60 days. Now, what about your nazirus? Again, the people who came late. The case is speaking where a guy is vaday nazar, suffix tamei, suffix mitzayra. So we just took care of mitzayra. I'm going to go over it again in a chart. So just now, in the 60 days, you're going to take a haircut. What for you? Maybe you take a nazar tahira, but maybe you're nazar tameya. And remember, there's no giluach less than 30 days. Your chup you need 30 days for. So the next 30 days is for Naziris Tumah. And now I can finally go ahead, and I take a haircut then. Now I wait another 30 days, and now I took care of being a Nazir, that's Tahar. So after 120 days, I can drink wine and be Metamal Mason. So the first 60 days takes care of my Tsaras, and the latter 60 days takes care of my Naziris. Okay, so let's go to. I sent it out on your WhatsApp. I sent that on your WhatsApp. If you have a chart, it's the bottom of that chart. Again, I sent that on WhatsApp. I'm going to put it up on the screen now. You get your WhatsApp? Okay, I'll give you.
I think this is it.
Look at the bottom. Okay, see the bottom of the possibilities. Guys, look at the bottom over here. So the possibilities. Now the first this you have again. You are a Nazir Tameh. You are Nazir Tahar, Safik Tameh, Safik Mitzayra. So you look at that bottom. Watts Golding also has it. So now the first 30, when you took a haircut, like Giluach Rishon, it took care of Tsaras, Shal Mitzayra. Good. What possibilities still exist? Nazir Tahar, right? The second Mitzayra and the Nazir Tameh. That's what's your problem?
Nazir Torah after 30 days. Why can't you take care of Nazir Torah also?
You can't, one Giluach can't take care of two.
Why not?
Because it can't.
Oh, you have to.
Because Nazir Tumah, you have to separate.
So if you lose a Vada Mitzvah,
If you, let's say you're a Nazir Tameh, you have to go ahead and take a Giluach for that and go here for 30 days.
no, so let's say you Vada.
Mitzvah, no, we can't do both. No, Mitzvah, no, Giluach, right. Okay, now, so now Nazir Tahar. So the 30 eliminated the first Giluach. Now the next 60 guys, that takes care of the what? The second Mitzayra, right? It took care of that. What's left, guys? The Nazir Tahar and the Nazir Tameh. The third Giluach, 90, takes care of Nazir Tameh. What still remains? Nazir Tahar. And the remaining 120 takes care of Nazir Tahar. It's Geschmack is anything, right? Guys, right? Goes Glot? You good? Okay. What happens if it's a Naziris of 100 days? What happens to the Naziris of 100 days? So if you use this chart, just switch the word 100 for 30. Stam Naziris is 30 days. Guys, if it was what? If it was a Naziris of 100 days, a long Naziris, you're covered how long? It's going to take you 4 years. It's going to take you 4 years, guys, right? It's going to take you 4 years to go ahead and take care of this. If you were Nazir for a year, did I say 100 days? I meant a year. So it's going to take you 4 years. It's going to take you 4 years. Good. Okay, we're leading up to a kasha. Okay, what's the question? I'm giving it to you outside. What's that question, guys? Listen to a kasha. What did Rabbi Chisda say yesterday? What did Rav Chisda say yesterday? When do we say that the days of Mitzayra does not count? That's only if you need, if you're going to have a full Naziris to finish it off. So on a Naziris of 50 days, you count 20 days, suspend it for as long as it takes you, and then you're going to go ahead and have 30 days afterwards. So you'll still, I'm Naziris of 50 days, I counted 20. The days of Ibis Mitzayra suspended it, and then I had a full 30 days to grow my hair and take care of things. Right? That was his thing. However, he said if it's an Naziris of 100 days, and you came Mitzayra in day 40, since I'm going to have plenty of time afterwards, it would be included. You're in this. Let's say you kept 40 days, and then you came Mitzayra. You would not. You would include the days of you being Mitzayra. Right? So in other words, let's say it was 40 days and it took you 7 days in the middle. And then you don't keep another 60. You keep another 53. You keep 53. You're going to count the days. That was his Kiddush. That if you can go ahead and complete with your haircut and everything in that period of time, then you're going to count the days of your Mitzayra. It's going to be oila b'cheshbon. That's what is Kiddush. Again, that's what Kiddush. Right? Now, what's the kasha over here? Listen to this kasha. Mamash Gavalach kasha. You're mekabel Naziris for a year, right? You said you're going to be mekabel for 4 years. if you tell me that the Naziris, the Mitzras, is included in the Naziris, I should be able to become clear in 3 years and 30 days. I should be able to do it in 3 years and 30 days. Why? Because the days that you count for your Tzaras should include what? Your Naziris. In other words, your 100th year, you kept 2 years of what of Mitzayra. You kept 1 year in Naziris Tumah, right? Whatever that. Your Naziris Tyra should have been taken care of because that's only in those days. I'd only need 30 days to grow my chup to take what? The final Naziris. So that's the Kasha on Rav Chisda. Why would you need a full 4 years? According to Rav Chisda, that the Mitzayra's days, when it's a long Naziris, is Nivla, and the Naziris is counted in the days of Tzaras, you should be able to go ahead and clean yourself at what? 30 days, and at 3 years and 30 days. Right? 3 years. 3 years. 3 years. Yeah, 2 years. Mitzayra 1 year, 1 year. Mitzayra 1 Geluach 1, 2, and Naziris of Tumah. And the Naziris of Tyra took care. So that's going to take. So that's going to be the Gemara's Kash. The Gemara's not going to give a teretz, guys. The Gemara's not going to give a teretz. Okay. So let's see. You can't believe what I just spoke out. How little. None of it is described in the Gemara. Zero is described in the Gemara. Let's see it inside. Masiv Rami Bar Chama. Now, Rami Bar Chama is asking on Rav Chisda, who said the days of Tzaras are the days of your on a long Naziris, the days that you are of your Naziris of Tumah, Mitzayra can be counted. The days of Naziris of Tyra can be counted in. Is that Gemara over there? Master Rami Rachama. Nazir shahayatame besafik, a Nazir that was tame besafik, umuchlit besafik, and he was muchlit besafik. Now, Stamazai, what exactly is the case? So he was Mekabel Naziris Vadai, Suffolk whether he contracted Tumah, Mitzayra. How do you get a Suffolk muchlit? So the have you Shalmi written over here in Perik Hey Halacha Beis that there were 2 men. The claim paskin on one of them Tumah, and one of them Tyra, and the person was Misrapa Miyad, and the claim forgot who the person that paskin was Mitzayra Vadai and Mitzayra. That's the suffix. Okay. So now, he can eat kachim after 60 days. Outside quickly. His first giluach is for, maybe he was Mitzayra. Maybe it's Mitzayra, right? Second giluach for the second of a Mitzayra, right? Once he's a Mechusik Kippurim, now goes to the mikvah, he's mutter to eat what? Kachim. He's mutter to eat kachim. And he can drink wine after what? After 120 days. The next 90 days for his, maybe he was a Tamei Nazir, and now he needs 30 days to grow his hair back for a chup, and that's 120 days. Good. But Tani Allah, and we learned on this, guys. This is a Mishnah, by the way, guys. This is a Mishnah, but I just told you. Just try to remember if we're going to have it on Samach. It's not. This not doesn't go away that quickly. Right? Says the Gemara. But Tani Allah, and we learned on this. When do we say that what? That 120 days is Naziris Muetes. That's when the Naziris is what? 30 days. That's time Naziris is Lamed Yoin. Right. Aval Naziris Shana, a Naziris, I said the first 100 days. I mean, of a full year, Naziris of a year, Oichel Bekotchim La'acha, Shtei Shanim, V'shoyse Yayin, and B'tamel Mason, La'acha B'shanim. In other words, it's the same denomination, right? Just put a year in for 30, and just like 30 times 4 is 120, 4 times, that's the same denomination. Now, here's the kasha. If you're going to tell me the days of his Naziris counts to be made Tumah, so guys, take the year in Naziris, what should you do? It was Nivla in the days of Tumah, which leaves you with 3 years, 2 for Mitzayra, 1 for Nazir Tamei, and now you just need 30 days for what? To grow a chup. So it should be 3 years and 30 days. Guys, we're good? That was it. Huh? Very good, eh? Baruch Hashem. Good. Yeah, it's good job with that. And I have so much, I get so nervous. I wrote so much stuff. I guess, I didn't understand. What? Yeah, we're younger, right? Yeah, now we think we know it. Okay, anyway, like, we're good. Okay, we don't answer that. And now we're going to ask another kasha on Rav Chisda. And Shmamina, we're going to slug up Rav Chisda. Rav Chisda's out. He's out. His din that you're going to tell me that the Naziris is nivla in the Meituma. If you have enough time to finish the Naziris, that's out. Says the Gemara. V'oy masa Rav Ashi. Now, let's say 3 Naziris, guys, three. A Nazir, you may sifroi. Let's go in order. You may chilutoi, all you may gamroi. They're the same thing. Those are the days he's sequestered. That's the word, sequestered away. Good. Then you have may sifroi after the first body shave, the 7 days till the second body shave, and then you have what's called bimei muskar, where you're not sure if he's a mitzvah or not. You're not sure if he's a mitzvah or not. The kohen's not sure, so he puts him away and looks again after 7 days. Now, halacha is you may gamroi and you may siproi do not count. It's suspended animation. It's on pause. You may muskar would count. You may muskar would count. Those are the 3 things. Good. So now, with that in mind, only Eli you may tuma. Only you may tuma do not count. Adarab guys, you may tuma not only count, they go ahead and they cancel out the naziris. She'ein oiloi min aminyan. I would say they don't go out and count towards his naziris. You may chilutoi minayin. How do you know the days that he's vaday a mitzvah? How do you know that what? That they don't count? Vidinhu, that they shouldn't count. You may tum migaleach umevi carbon. Guys, a gnazu gets tummy. What's the halacha? He takes a haircut, he only cuts his hair, and he brings a carbon. You may chiluta by the mitzvah, guys. What does he do? Migaleach takes a body shave, umevi carbon, and he brings a carbon. Ma you may tuma ein oilan loy. Just like a tuma does not count towards his naziris. Adrabah, guys, not only doesn't it count, it cancels his naziris, right? Like ein loyal min aminyan. Af you may chilutai ein oil min aminyan. So too, what it should make sense that the days that he's a mitzvah should now count to the minion. Yeah, but you may. But this is speaking about you may chilutai, not the body shave. This is when he's speaking away. The days that he's, this is before the body shaves. This has nothing to do with the body shaves. He has in common that he shaves, like the Nazir Tumah shaves and he shaves, but we're talking about the days before Heshi. Let's say it took him a month to get cleansed up, right? So how do you know that they don't count, right? Because there's the commonality it has with Tumas Mace. Mm-hmm. Just like Tumas Mace, you take a haircut and bring a carbon. So to Mitzvah, whenever you get cleaned up, you take a haircut and bring a carbon. By haircuts, even by a mitzvah, it's more comprehensive. You shave everything off, right? Says the Gemara. So I'll slug that up. Lo yimamit b'mei tumasoi, guys. Shekei mevatel behen es hakoidmin. Guys, by tuma, not only doesn't it count, it goes ahead and wipes out whatever you kept. If you kept 20 days and then you got mekabel tumas meis, those 20 days are gone. You got to start anew. Right? The only thing, guys, the Yom Rishonim Yiplu is only Tumas Mace. The pasuk says in Perek Vav, in Perek Vav, the Yom Rishonim Yiplu, the first day falls away. There's only Pesach. Pisam is when there's a mace. So there's no havamina that anything else would go ahead and be mevatel the days. Only Tumas Mace. So you want to learn out what chilutoi of mitzvah from Tumas Mace, saying just like Tumas Mace, it takes a haircut and brings a carbon and what and does an oila. So to what be mechiluta? Yeah, 1 second. Tuma does more than mechiluta. You know what Tuma does? It wipes it out. Probably mechiluta that at most it's going to go ahead and suspend it. At most it's suspended. So therefore you can't learn it out, guys. You can't learn it out, right? Says the Gemara. So I'm in Kal V'Chomer that it shouldn't count. So now I'm going to have a Kal V'Chomer that mechiluta should not count. Good. What's the Kal V'Chomer? Uma Nazir B'Kever. This is a Lomdish Gemara. Guys, what's the halacha? We learned this. You have to go back in time. A Nazir standing B'Kever, right? He's Makabel Naziris. What's the halacha? He goes out of the cemetery, right? Counts 7 days. And what does he do? He counts 7 days, and then what? Does he take a haircut? No. Cleans himself up, has a spritz 3 day 7, and then begins anew. So the hair that he had in the cemetery when he was Mekabel B'tumah will be the hair that he cuts off when he's Metayr as a Nazir. Again, a Nazir, we did this, guys. A Nazir is in the cemetery. He's Mekabel Naziris B'tumah. It didn't start. In other words, he never had a Naziris B'tahira that became Tameh. He was Mekabel B'tumah. He was in the cemetery. The halacha is when he goes outside, he just has to go ahead and cleans himself up from Tumas Mace. What do? A day 3 spritz? A day 7 spritz? You have 2 spritzes, yeah? And then what? Boom, nothing else. No haircut, no carbon. So, Uma Nazir Bekever, a Nazir who's Mekabel Naziris Bekever, meaning in a Beisak forest. Shesa Aroi Royal Iskaleach B'Tahira, that what? His sayer's right to cut when he's B'Tahira, Naziris, Netalachas Naziris, Ein Oil Min Aminyan, those days that he's in the cemetery, he's not starting to count as Naziris. Yemei Chilutai, She'ain Sarah Royal Iskalach Naziris. Guys, once you're in Mitzvah, you know before you're going to get a chance to cut off your Nazir Dika hair, you're going to cut off your Mitzvah Dika hair. That hair is never going to be there, right? Like Kol Shekain, that what? It should not count. So therefore, I've destroyed your premise. In other words, you wanted you're going to end up the din the same way, but the place you wanted to learn from, you weren't successful. You thought you could learn. You thought you could learn Mitzvah from Thomas Mace, you can't, but you could learn Mitzvah from Nazir Bebeis Kvaris. The Nazir Bebeis Kvaris, his hair that he has on his head will ultimately be there B'Tahira, and nonetheless, Ein Oilen Lo, it doesn't count the days in the cemetery. B'mei Chalutai, where the hair that's on his head will not be there because you're going to have to cut it off because he's a Mitzvah, Ein Oidin that they should not count, and I was successful. And because I told you the Akdama, guys. The Akdama is Yemei Chilutai does not ain't oil b'cheshbin. Yemei Sifroi is not oil b'cheshbin. What's Yemei Sifroi? The 7 days between the body shaves, the first one and the second. Now we're going to learn that out. The ainly Ela Yemei Chilutai that it doesn't count. Yemei Sifura Minayin. How do you know the days? Those 7 days. How do you know that doesn't count towards his Naziris? The dinhu that it should count towards his Naziris. Ma Yemei Chilutai it shouldn't count. So too, Yemei Sifroi needs Teglachas, right? Guys, after you become the first time is a body shave, 7 days later is the second body shave. So therefore you have a limud. And this works, guys. This works. Okay, that's one more time. We slugged up Rav Chisda once. Good. We slugged him up. Tremendous lumdis. Not 4 years, 3 years and 30 days, right? And we slugged up Rav Chisda's din that on a long Naziris that the tumah will be nivla and that it'll be counted. That's not tumah. Tsaras. In the days of Tsaras, it'll count towards your Naziris. Good. That's what he said. We slugged that up from our case because he said 4 years rather than 3 years and 30 days. Now we're beginning to slug it up from here. Right? Okay. What are we establishing? That Yemei Chilutai, that the days that he's in Mitzvah doesn't count. Period. It doesn't count. Why did Yemei Sifroi? It also doesn't count. How do you make Chilutai doesn't? How do you know Chilutai doesn't count? I learned it from the Nazir and the Kever. How do you know Bimei Sifroi, the 7 days in between? Because it's similar to Chilutai. Just like Bimei Chilutai, you need a Tiglachas and it doesn't count. So to Bimei Sifroi, you need a Tiglachas and it doesn't count. Clean and neat. What about Bimei? What about Bimei Muskar? What about the days he's put away where you're not sure? Af says Yachal, 3 lines down. Yachal, I might think Af Yemei Hiskerei Kain. I would think Bimei Hiskeru also should not count to the Naziris, but I did know saying that it should not count. Cholut mitame mishkav u'moshev. I'm an avatuma. I touch a bed. What does it become? A rishon. I'm an avatuma. I touch a bed. Becomes a rishon, right? You're a mitzayra. You touch a bed. It's an av, right? But Moshe with share stays the same. Muskar, same halacha. Muskar is mitama mishkav u'moshev. But I did know saying cholut mitame mishkav u'moshev to keep it as an avatuma. Yemei Hiskeroi, and even the mitzvah that you're unsure, Bimei Hiskeroi, right? Mitame Mishkav Moshev. So therefore, what? Just like by Chalutoi, what? Ein Oilin. So to this Ein Oilin. Good, guys, good. Loy, I'm at loy. Imam b'mechil cholet shekein chalutoy time tiglachas umevi carbon. The fikachein oila, therefore it doesn't count. Time me'askera shein time tiglachas, no haircut required. Ve'ein mevi carbon, it doesn't make a carbon. The fikach yalo, therefore what? Leminion, it does count. Therefore, no, it does count. Enochinami, if you put away mitzayra, those days that he's musker counts towards his naziris. You can't amru, you may sifra, you may gamroi, ain't oilan loy. There's 7 days in between. You may gamroi, those that make chilutai, the same thing. Ain't oilan loy min aminyan. Aval you may hazav, hazava, v'haskera shel mitzayra. Let's say a nazir becomes a zav, or the nazirwad is a musker, mitzayra musker. Hari elu oilan loy. They will be oilan. Why? Because they do not need a teglachas. The zav doesn't need teglachas. This doesn't need teglachas. Okay, guys. With all this, we're leading up to a question. Gemazar Chis to say that it makes mitzayra, it does count, correct? Ketani mihas, nonetheless, we learned. Lo yamam b'mei tuma, shekei mevatel behenes hakoidmin. Right, b'mei tuma, b'mei mevatel, that came before. Time b'mei chalutai. Now, mei chalutai, that she'ei mevatel hakoidmin, guys, right? In other words, they're not mevatel hakoidmin, and therefore what? But ein oilin. We want to learn out what, guys. What was the limud? Just like tuma, ein oilin, so to b'mei chalutai ein oilin. And we said you can't learn it out. Why? Because that goes ahead tuma and knocks out the first days. Masha'en king just doesn't. But we're learning out ein oilin, right? What nazir are you speaking about? Which nazir? B'mai ilam b'naziris muetes and naziris of 30 days. Hab'inin gidol seir. Guys, what did we say? Guys, I'm a nazir for 30 days. You go ahead, you become a mitzayra on day 20. What's the halacha? It's going to override your naziris. You know why? You can't make up 10 days afterwards. You have to grow 30 days. So if it's naziris and wetis, you don't need a limud that a mitzayra that's muchlit can be in suspended animation. Of course, it's not that it's not suspended. It's a practical thing. It's not a tumah dikadin. It's a practical dikadin. If I don't have 30 days left, I have to grow my hair for 30 days. Again, we said that our Mishnah wasn't speaking in a case where you needed more than 30 days. Any amount of time beforehand that you require 30 days, it's going to overrun. It's going to, right? Says the Gemara. Elolav must be speaking that ein oilin must be speaking with naziris meruba, right? What naziris must be speaking about, guys? Along naziris. Fikatani she'ein oilin loy min aminyan. They don't count. Alma, what do you see? Lay sulkin lay, they do not count. Shma mina, they don't count. The slug up on. It doesn't say tiyafta, right? It doesn't say tiyafta. Lashin nidarim mishana. Lasin naziris mishana. Okay, outside. Quick chazara. We had one mission, guys, to slug up Rav Chisda. What was Rav Chisda's chiddush? Now, if it's along naziris, the counting of naziris not only is it not overridden, but it counts. Meaning the days that you're a mitzayra will count to the number of naziris. And if you, let's say, you become a mitzayra on day 40, and your naziris is for 100 days, and it takes 7 days to clean up, by day 53, you're going to be good. You count your days afterwards. In other words, you're going to finish your naziris spot on day 100. You weren't affected by it. That was his chiddush. Good. That's provided oilin light. They count. We have two pshatim to say they don't count. One was the Mishnah, one was the Brisa. We had a Mishnah. What was that Mishnah? A Mishnah said a guy who is a nazir, and then he's a suffix tuma, suffix mitzayra, right? For him to go ahead and eat kachim, it's 60 days. For him to go ahead and be mitar, and to be a nazir, it's 120 days. And we said that's in a short naziris. What happens in naziris of a year? So just take the 30 and make it a year. So 30, 60, 90, 120, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. 4 years. It's going to take him 4 years to get to clean up his act, right? According to Rav Chisda, it shouldn't take 4 years. According to Rav Chisda, that last year of Tuma, I should be able to I should swallow it up, but in the 2 years of Mitzayra. So it should only be 3 years and 30 days, and it's not. Kasha number 1 on Rav Chisda. Kasha number 2 on Rav Chisda. We have a limud. What's a limud? We're learning out from Tuma. We want to learn out from Tuma. We want to learn out what? And we want to learn out from Mitzayra Muchlet, right? And you see from the limud that it has to be speaking about a nazir who was for a longer period of time of 30 days. Because if it's less than, if it's a 30-day naziris, it's not only not oila, it knocks it off. Why does it knock it off? Not because of the tumatik din, because the practical din, I need 30 days to grow my hair. So therefore must be speaking about what? And the naziris that is long. And nonetheless it says, naziris that's long, and it says what? That the mitzayra ain oilin, it doesn't count. Kasha, second kasha on Rav Chisda. Okay, to now to the end of the parak is Kishma. Okay, no problem. Yeah, you got this? You're okay. Yeah, but as the Rebbe, I'm being margish, so like you guys just want to get a move on it. Like when is this Masechta over? It's finishing with a thud. Come on, it's Geschmack for me.
What do we have with this?
Something in wine. Says the word. We have to have a lot of wine for this year. Rabbi Eliezer. Rabbi Eliezer. Yishum Rabbi Yeshua. Says Rabbi Eliezer Mishum Shabbat. Stam Rabbi Yeshua, guys, is who? Rabbi Yeshua ben Chananya. Very good. Stam Rabbi Eliezer is Rabbi Yeshua. Rabbi Yeshua is Rabbi Yeshua ben Chananya, one of the 5 Talmidim Mavad of Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. Right. But yeah, but this is Rabbi Eliezer ben Hurkanis. Eliezer, not Elazar. Okay. Anyway. I'm Rabbi Eliezer Mishum Rabbi Yeshua. Kol tuma min ameis shenazim megaleach Allah. Any tuma from a mace that a nazal megaleach on, chayav olev al biyas migdash. Now it's also the comment to the base of migdash. There's a mitzvah you have to be sent, guys. Maybe you have to be sent out of the machnes. If you're tummy, you have to be sent out of the machne. Machne shmina, machne levia. If it's a tuma that's yotzim megufay, and 3 machnes of your mitzvah. We discussed this. Good. Now, which one is there a mitzvah to send the guy out? If it's going to be the first Mishnah that we learned, that it's going to be a tumah that the nazir is going to have to start again, that it's going to go ahead and wipe out his first days. And we said not everyone is equal. Not every tumah is created equal. That was chatzi loig dam and chatzi loig atzamis, right? That was, and kazayis min ameis, and that was the geschmack stuff, right? Now, what about, well, you have a rokov. Now, what about the next Mishnah, the proyes and the svachos, and the Beis HaPras, all the tumas, the Rabbanons, or Nagea B'meis, or Eretz Ha'amim, the whole tuma min Amei she'ein anazim megalech leha, ein chayav aleha al Beis Mikdash. You would be chayav on Beis Mikdash, right? You would not be chayav on Beis Mikdash, any of these things. So he wants to make a chiluk. In other words, you're tamei. But in other words, but even though you're tamei, right, and even the tuma might need a spritz of 3 and 7. It's not Eretz Amim, not Nagea B'meis, but Beis HaPras, you'll need a spritz of 3 and 7. Sfachos, the Suffolk, you'll need 3 and 7. Nonetheless, there's no mitzvah what you wouldn't be chayiv on Bias Migdash. Amra Meya loy teizeh kalim and a sheretz. This should not be worse than a sheretz. If a person's tummy to a sheretz, right? If a person's tummy to a sheretz, you be chayiv on Bias Migdash, and Tumas sheretz is Tumas erev. So all those tumas that you said in the second Mishnah is not worse than that, and therefore you would be chayiv in that as well. So Eliezer wants to be mekel, and Rabbi wants to be makrin. Now be careful. Rabbi Eliezer didn't say it in his own name. He said it in the name of who? He said the name of what? Okay. Now somewhere in my mind, I remember Mishum is me. He didn't hear it directly. He heard it in the name of. When it says Omar Rabbi Eliezer, Omar Rabbi Yeshua, means he heard it directly. But Omar Rabbi Eliezer Mishum, he heard it in the name of. Guys, you got the difference? Good. What? No, but it's funny. We're going to bring in Yerushalmi. You can have enough. Oh, Rabbi Eliezer Mishum Rabbi Yeshua Gamala. Rabbi Eliezer had a Messiah. Also, it's Mishmak where I explained it. Gamala means a Messiah, right? Gamala, that he had a Messiah from Rabbi Yeshua ben Chananya, but Mishum Rabbi Yeshua bar Mamel Gamala. He learned it from Rabbi Yeshua bar Mamel. The Tanya, Amar Rabbi Eliezer, Kishalachti Ardaskaya, that certain place. Matzasi Yeshua ben Peser, that was his name. Roish, Shoyoshe Vidon Lifnei Reb Meya, Ba'alacha, Kol Tuma Min Amei Shen Azamegalecha Aleha, Chayav Mishum Bias Migdash, Kol Tuma Min Amei Shein Azamegalecha Aleha, Ein Chayav Mishum Bias Migdash. Amalei Reb Meya told him, Al Tezeh Kalim Yisheretz. Amati Lo, And I said to him, Rabbi Eliezer said to Reb Meir, Kluma tabaki Rabbi Yeshua bar Mamel. Are you a bigger bucky than Yeshua bar Mamel? Amali hein. Kach Amali Rabbi Yeshua bar Mamel. Yishum Rabbi Yeshua. Kol tuma min ameis she'anaz megalech laha. Chayv lem yishum bias migdash. Kol tumas min ameis she'ein anaz megalech laha. Ein chalem yishum bias migdash. So now, who was the original? Rabbi Yeshua bar Mamel was he was the what? He was the who said Rabbi Yeshua ben Chananya was number one, and Rabbi Yeshua ben Mamel was two, and Rabbi Eliezer was three. So why was Rabbi Eliezer quoting that he heard from Rabbi Yeshua ben Chananya when he really heard it from who? Rabbi Yeshua ben Mamel, who heard it from Yeshua ben Chananya. So the Yeshua is getting, guys, look at me, getting a little confused. What's the din? The din that we heard is that what if it's not? It's going to circumvent it. Override in the Naziris, you chayiv in the Beis Hamikdash. If it's not going to override in the Naziris, you're not chayiv. Okay, who said this? Rabbi Eliezer. Who did he say the name of? The name of Rabbi Yeshua ben Chananya. But really, he heard it from Yeshua ben Chananya. He didn't hear it. He heard from Yeshua ben Mamel, who heard it from Yeshua ben Chananya. So the Gemara is going to learn out something very interesting. You know, when you don't mention the middleman. You mention the original source. The original source of Yeshua ben Chananya. The middleman was Yeshua ben Mamel. Gemara's kasher is. You, Rabbi Eliezer, heard it from Yeshua ben Mamel, right? Why didn't you mention him? Because you heard he's the middleman. You go back to the original source, as the Gemara is going to tell us right now. Yeah, get rid of the middleman, right? Always save money. So, Amru Shemamina, what do we see from this? That Kol Shmaitza Dimis Amra Bebeit Tilsa, any Shmaitza that you hear from three people, Kadmoyu Basray Amrinon, the first one and the last one you say, Mitziyah Loy Amrinon. The first one is Rabbi Yeshua ben Chananya. The latter is Rabbi Eliezer ben Horkinis. And the middle is Yeshua ben Mamel. So we cut out the middleman. Right? We cut out the middleman. Amr Rav Nachman Yitzchak. Afan and Amitanina, we learned the same thing. Amr Nachman Halavler, said Nachman the scribe. Kach Mukublani Rabbi Mayasha, Shekibel me Abba, Shekibel min Azugos, Shekibel min Anaviyim, Halacha Moshe Sinai. Now, guys, in between the Nevi'im and Halacha Moshe Sinai, we had Yeshua bin Nun. We had Kalev ben Yefuna. Good. Bizoreya sheves v'chardol b'shnayim v'shloshim mekayimos. If a person plants dill or mustard in 2 or 3 places in a field, this is called a sodim menumer. It's called a field of leopard, right? Shenois and payah mikolecha bechad. You have to get payah from each one of these. Now, Bili Yeshua v'Kalev like a chashiv. Now we cut out the middleman. The middleman was what? Was Yeshua and Kalev. So it says Shema Mina, cut out the middleman. Okay, interesting. Okay, let's finish the parak. Amar Rabbi Akiva, the Nanti Lifnei Rabbi Eliezer, Ma im etzem kisayra, she'ena metama adam ba'oyel. Etzem kisayra, which does not have the capacity to metama adam ba'oyel. Anazam megaleach al magoy v'al masao. It's going to go ahead what and overcome the Naziris. Guys, this was quoted in the first Mishnah. Good, even though it's not Tamid to Messiah. How much dam did you need in the first Mishnah to override it? Chatzi loig. Chatzi loig. What would a Revius dam do? It'd be Matama, but he would not override his Naziris. But Rabbi Akiva wants a taina. Revius dam shu Matama adam ba'ayel. Any din she'en nasa megaleach al maga oval maso. Any din that is Matama to mismaga to mismasa. Amali mazeh akavya ein donin kan kavachayme. You don't judge from a kal v'chaymer, meaning you don't judge from a halacha moshe misinai kal v'chaymer. And now machloikus is what's the halacha moshe misinai? That's some kasayra or the revius dam. Kshabasi be'aretzi the bottom of Rabbi Yeshua. I presented Rabbi Yeshua Amali Yafa Martel Elokeinam Halacha. That's the halacha. So even though the kal v'chaymer is a good kal v'chaymer, that apparently that revius dam should be more severe than that's some kasayra you can't learn out. Says the Mishnah, the Gemara, Boilahu. Etzem Kisayra, halacha is tam kal v'chaymer. It's etzem Kisayra, the halacha moshe misinai and revius tam is the kal v'chaymer. Bein done kal v'chaymer halacha. I don't know revius tam halacha. Etzem Kisayra kal v'chaymer. Bein done kal v'chaymer me halacha. Tashma. Etzem Kisayra halacha is halacha moshe misinai. Revius tam kal v'chaymer. Bein done kal v'chaymer me halacha. Adlach kain gadol. Adlach kain gadol. Adlach kain gadol. Hanani ben Kasha Omer. What's that Kodesh Baruch Hu Zaka says?